Thanks for joining me, everybody. Today we're going to do a nice little 25 or so minute flow. If your energy is a little bit low today, I invite you to grab a chair, preferably one with no arms. And if you're feeling pretty good and can comfortably sit on the floor, I'll invite you to start there. So go ahead and get to your starting place, please. Either sitting in a chair or sitting on the floor if you're comfortable to do so. All right, my name's Alison. I'm so happy to be here with you today. So I will invite you to just start our practice with a moment of breath awareness. So if you'll place one hand up on your collarbone area and one hand down on your lower abdomen, and then just take this first minute together to notice what your natural breath is feeling like in your body. So just feel it. Feel your breath. Feel where you feel it predominantly. Where you maybe not feeling it much at all. I'll confess, I'm always nervous to be recorded. So my breath is stuck right up here in my clavicular region. When we're feeling stressed, breath is usually short and shallow, clavicular breathing it's called. When we're feeling super sluggish, our breath is often mostly felt here. And when we're feeling very even and connected, our breath is usually felt all over. I would love you to think of your whole torso like a container, a cylindrical container. Okay, we're going to mindfully create a pattern of breathing that allows us to go into a kind of calmer state of consciousness where we are able to get our breath to be nice and even. And with that even breathing comes kind of an even quality to the mind. So hand on your lower belly, hand on your chest. Where do you feel your natural breath? Now I'll invite you to take a deep breath in and try to feel the breath as if it's going from the top hand down into the bottom hand. And then exhale it back up to the top hand. Inhale it from the top hand into the bottom hand. Exhale it from the bottom hand into the top hand. And that's actually the direction your diaphragm, your breathing apparatus is going. When you breathe in, your diaphragm's moving down and spreading out. When you breathe out, your diaphragm moves back up, okay? So try to feel that action. Breathing in as if the breath is going from the top hand to the bottom hand. Breathing out as if it's going from the bottom hand up into the top hand. Okay, this deep, steady breathing is really the key to creating yoga, which is a state of consciousness. It's not an exercise program. It is actually a state of consciousness that we are aiming to create with our deep, steady breathing and our nice, flowy movements. All right, whether you are sitting on the floor, and by the way I'm sitting is probably not super comfortable for many of you, whether you're sitting like this, or up in a chair. Here we go. We're going to start flowing. Deep breath in, open your arms out. I call this wide W. And then exhale, press your hands together. And do that again. Inhale, open. And exhale, press the hands together. Keep going. Inhale, open. Spine as elongated as you can get it. Inhale, open. So the rib cage should feel as if it's lifting up and away from your hip and pelvis. Let's take 2 more of these. Inhale, open. And if it feels good, look up. Exhale. If it feels good, lower the chin and look down on this part. Inhale, wide W, look up. Exhale, chin down, look down. New pattern. Inhale, open. Exhale, take your hands down to the floor, or if you're sitting in a chair, to the sides of the chair like this. Okay, we're going to go into some lateral stretching. So I'm going to show it from the chair. Call these seesaws. Inhale, seesaw to one side. Exhale, come down. Inhale, seesaw to the other side. exhale, come down. Okay, that's your pattern. Whether you're sitting in a chair or sitting on the floor, you're seesawing. Inhale, seesaw. And exhale, come down. Okay, everybody, inhale like ta-da, I did that. Yes, and you're here and you're doing it. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good, let's take a round of palming. So palming is a kind of funky little yoga trick that you can throw at yourself during the day when you're starting to feel kind of fuzzy-headed or sluggish. Okay, it's a yogic cup of coffee that doesn't stain your teeth. Okay, let's do it again from the top. Inhale, YW. Good, exhale, press. Good, and I'm going to invite you to keep your arms fairly low on this W. Inhale, YW. Good, exhale, press. I'm going to move back up to the chair. You don't have to keep moving with me. I'm just going up and down to show you that it can be done in both places. Press. Inhale, YW. Exhale, press. Good. Inhale, lateral movement. If you're sitting on the floor, the one hand's going to the floor, the other arm's going up. Yes, beautiful. Exhale, float the arms down. Inhale, other side. Yes, exhale, float the arms down. Looking good, everyone. Inhale. And if you spread your fingers, you're going to actually activate more of that connective tissue in there. Inhale. And exhale. New pattern. Hands on the legs, whether you're sitting on the floor or on your chair. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, round the back to cat pose. I'm going to show this from the side. Really round it. Inhale. If it feels good, really round that back. Exhale. Keep going. Inhale from the floor. It might look like this. If it doesn't feel good to sit cross-legged, there's nothing wrong with you. That is a hard position to sit in. Exhale. Take 2 more of those. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Round your back. All right, everyone. Go to ta-da. Yeah, and in your face and everything, make it ta-da. Exhale, hands in. Beautiful. Take around the palming. Okay, now feel how difficult it is to breathe deeply and slowly while your hands are moving fast, but you can do it. Keep that deep, steady breathing going. Remember in the beginning when we were breathing in from our top hand into our bottom and back out through the top hand? Keep that deep breathing going. All right, back to our first pattern. Inhale, YW. Keep the arms low. That'll open up what is tight on most people right here. Exhale, press. Inhale, YW. Now, can you look up a little and lift your chest? Exhale, press. Look down a little. 2 more. Inhale, open. Exhale, press. Last one. Inhale, open. Really good. Exhale, press. All right, we're going into our lateral movement. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Yeah, let the arms float like they're floating through water, floating up in the water, floating down in the water. Good. Inhale and exhale. Okay, inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, take your hands to your legs. And here come our cow poses and our cat poses. Start flowing with your breath. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, round the back and contract the chest. Inhale. Exhale. Whether you're sitting in the chair, sitting on the floor, allow your breath to animate your body. Inhale, open, ta-da. Good. Exhale, hands, heart, center. Take a full breath in through the nose. Let's breathe it out through the mouth with a ha breath. This is called cleansing breath. Let's do it again. Breathe in through the nose. And then let it out through the mouth. All right, back to your palming, everybody. I'm going to move back up to the chair. You can stay seated if you're more comfortable to stay seated on the floor. Okay, when we're sitting in a chair for yoga, we want to make sure that we're not using the back of the chair and leaning back into it. We're keeping ourselves away from the back of the chair, keeping the spine super elongated. All right, we're going to learn a new pattern. This is rotation of the spine. So let's take our hands to our legs for a moment. All right, take one hand to the opposite knee, and it doesn't matter which side. And then that other arm's going to go back. So if you're sitting in a chair, it might go back toward that back leg. And then come back and switch. Inhale, open, and exhale, switch. Inhale, open, and exhale, switch. So really paying attention to every little part of the movement. Inhale, open, exhale, switch. Keeping your eyes straight ahead, and that's called drishti in yoga. Your drishti, your gazing point. Straight ahead. Inhale, open. Keep this rotational pattern going. If you're sitting on the floor, it looks like this. Inhale, open. Exhale, switch. Inhale, open. Exhale, switch. Let's take two more. Inhale, open. Exhale, switch. Inhale, open. Exhale, switch. All right, ta-da. Inhale. Nice. Exhale, hands, heart center. Back to your palming. So what I'm offering today in our little slow flow is something that allows us to move our spine in all the ways it's really so beautifully put together to move. We are in the first way the spine moves, hopefully. It is elongation of the spine. So try to feel that your spine is really moving in this direction. Okay, can you feel that? That's elongation of the spine. Okay, for those of you who have disc issues, this is elongation of the spine is your friend. Okay, we don't want to do what I refer to as the slump and dump. Okay, here's the slump and dump, everybody. I'm going to show it from the side. It is not pretty. Okay, slump and dump, elongation. All right, from the top, we're going to go through our whole little routine. Wide W, inhale. Open as far as you feel comfortable. Exhale, press, and really press. Feel those pectoral muscles and those shoulder muscles. Inhale, open. Look up if you can. Exhale, press. Good. Two more. Inhale, open. Exhale, press. One more. Inhale, open. Doing great. Exhale, press. We're going into our lateral movements. Inhale, seesaw. Exhale, float down. Inhale, seesaw. Exhale, float down. Two more. Inhale. If it feels good, look up to that top arm. Exhale. When you use your eye muscles, you use a whole bunch of muscles in your neck and upper back and chest, upper chest actually. All right, inhale, open. Exhale, hands on your legs and round your back. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Two more. Inhale, cow pose. Lift your heart. Exhale, cat pose. Last one. You're doing great. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. All right, our last movement of the spine is rotation. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross. Nice. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross. Okay, take the arms open, ta-da. Exhale, hands, heart center. Full breath in through the nose. Let it out through your mouth, like you're a fire-breathing human. Do it again. All right. I'm going to invite you to go back to your palming. Stay happy, soft smile on the face. Even if you're having a rough day, fake it in your face. Relax those muscles in your face and it'll be easier to breathe. All right. I'm going to encourage everybody to go ahead and stretch your legs out. If you're sitting on the floor, shake them out, circle your feet around. If you're sitting up in a chair, just go ahead and maybe shake the legs out a little bit this way. Okay? All right. We're going to all come to sit in a chair. So however you can, well, I'll say if you really were cozy down on the floor, feel free to stay there if you want. But we're going to finish our practice today with a little bit of breath awareness and some meditation. So I'm going to encourage everybody to just go ahead and take one hand up to your chest, one hand down to your belly, like we did in the beginning to kind of assess our natural breath. Okay. With your hands placed on your chest and on your lower abdomen, I would invite you to go ahead and keep deep breathing. Stay in that deep breathing cycle. Okay, as if the breath is moving from the top hand into the bottom hand. From the bottom hand to the top hand on the exhale. Feel your deep breathing. Now, I'm going to encourage you to really feel that cylindrical shape that I was referring to, your whole torso, like it is your breathing container, okay? Let's take our thumbs and bring them around behind our back, right at the kidney and low back area. Can you comfortably get your hands back there? If the answer is no, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. But if you can get your thumbs there, now I'll invite you to elongate that spine. Feel that great length you're creating. Feel the shoulders relaxed. Keep deep breathing. Feel if on the in-breath you have notice on the in-breath if you have a felt sensation of your low back and kidney area kind of pushing toward your thumbs. If it's helpful to close your eyes to really pay attention to what that feels like, close your eyes. That's okay. Keep deep breathing. Can you feel it getting into your low back area? I'm kind of curious. So those of you on here with your camera, can you feel that? Are you breathing into your, yay? Good. Keep deep breathing. Now let's one more time go through our little routine. That's going to move our spine all those ways. Inhale, open, ta-da. Exhale, hands, heart center. Now what I'm going to do is cut it way down. We're only going to do 2 of each thing. Okay, so just a reminder, as you're palming and trying to keep soft smiling and breathing deeply, the movements that we are doing with our spine today, or we have done and are going to do again, keep palming, is elongation. We have done flexion and extension of the spine. We have done lateral each way of the spine, and we have done rotation of the spine. When you move your spine in all those ways in a safe, effective manner, you really challenge your breath. And that's what we do in yoga. We just put our body in really strange shapes and aim to deep breathe in them. And it does all kinds of wonderful things for your nervous system. And not to mention your musculoskeletal system and all systems of the body. All right, let's take the hands to the legs. This is a nice little yoga trick as well. Just kind of lightly massaging the legs. You can, if you wish, really dig into one leg at a time and pull upward. That's the direction your lymph fluid moves. It moves towards your heart. Okay, so maybe take the other leg. Give it a little love. Okay, next week we're going to add some more leg work into our practice. Okay, let's go back to our light palming this time, nice and light. Go ahead and put some imaginary lotion on. Good. All right. Back to our little pattern one more time. Here we go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Press. One more. Breathe in. Can you lift your heart and look up a little? Breathe out. Press. Can you look down a little? Now we're going lateral. Inhale. Exhale. Float the arms down like they're floating through water. Inhale. Float them up. Exhale, float them down. Hands on your legs. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Just one more of those. Now our rotation. Inhale. Exhale, cross. Inhale, open. Exhale, cross. Ta-da. Okay, we're going to bookend all that with one more round of palming. I got an itchy nose, sorry. Okay. Now, I'm going to invite everybody to let your hands rest in your lap. If you've had a very kind of sluggish day, felt very sluggish, low energy, I'll invite you to put your palms up. If conversely, you have felt very kind of airy, spacey, anxious, nervous, I'll invite you to put your palms down. Ground yourself with your hands. Your hands are so healing. Ground yourself. Okay? Need less energy, hands down. Need a little more, hands up. Okay? Pick the one that's, you get the visceral reaction to. You can usually feel it in your gut or your heart. All right, everyone, let's let our deep, steady breathing fade into natural breathing. And it might take a good 30 seconds or more, especially if you practice yoga regularly. Let that breathing fade back into natural breathing pattern. And as you're doing that, just want to take a moment to talk about how miraculous our respiratory system is. We have this amazing respiratory system that is both voluntary and involuntary. When we practice yoga together, we are going to be voluntarily making our breath deeper and fuller on the exhalation. But then when we go into our natural breathing pattern, we let our voluntary, our natural pattern take back over. Now what I would love you to observe is as that natural breathing comes back, is it more expansive now? Do you remember about 25 minutes ago I had you feel your natural breath? I asked you to feel where you felt it predominantly, where you didn't feel it much at all. Go ahead and let's put our hands back. And where do you feel your natural breath now? Is it filling the container really nicely without you having to even think about it? Next week, we'll do a guided meditation, but for our first session together, I would invite you to just be consciously aware, which is what the definition of meditation is, of that natural breath in your body right now. Does it feel like it's getting to more places? Is it more expansive? About 5 minutes ago, I had you feel your more expansive breath with your voluntary breathing. Now we're in involuntary breath mode. All right, we're going to finish today's practice with hands, again, either down or up. And I will invite you each to think of 3 things that you're feeling grateful for today. Okay, so first minute of our short meditation, what's one thing you're feeling particularly grateful for today? I invite you to sit with that. Name it in your head. And then just breathe and feel that. Just feel every sensation you can feel when you are thinking of that person, place, or thing that you're feeling grateful for. Okay, I'm going to invite you to think of a second thing. Name it in your head. Breathe in and out naturally. And really own your feelings around that gratitude. Now I'm going to suggest the third thing. So I'll invite everybody to bring hands right back up here. And for the third thing that we're going to really own and feel grateful for, the fact that we could sit and breathe together and move together today. So I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to name that in my head. Breathing with the yoga community. Okay, let's open our eyes, let our arms just kind of float down, and we'll seal our yoga practice today with a nice deep breath in, sweeping the arms wherever you can comfortably go without this happening. Okay, it might be here, might be here, might be all the way up. And then we'll bring our thumbs to our brow, and that represents wisdom. We'll bring our thumbs to our heart, and that represents compassion. And then we'll bring our hands to our legs. If you're still sitting on the floor, you can actually touch the floor. And we touch the floor, or something that's closest to the floor, as a gesture of humility. The recognition that we are parts, a small part of a larger whole. Okay? When I touch the floor at the end of my yoga practice, I'm always repeating my teacher's names that I got to learn yoga from, because that is a way that I can practice humility and gratitude for those teachers. Okay, so just a suggestion. So again, thumbs go brow, wisdom, heart, compassion, and whatever's closest to the floor or the floor, humility. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you'll come back next week and join us again for a practice. If anybody has any questions, you can feel free to drop them in the chat.
Thank you, Alison, so much.
Thank you.
You
Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.